I'm not trying to make a small me.
She is.
Literally.
She's just
and
like
it's not the one.
She's a diva.
A diva.
Yeah,
like, and my mum keeps saying you've literally made a mini you. And I doubted myself so much, and if I didn't do that, I could be in a yacht somewhere. I could be like living a life. I could be so truly happy. I could be. But it's like I'm starting now, which I think, I'm old now. Like what do I want to do? But if I just like, even when like my mum would say, "Oh, just do it." You're like, "Oh, what do you know? You're old." Like
we started YouTube years ago.
Before YouTube.
We might upload these archives.
Yo, people, it's the One Devotion. You know what time it is? Daily Devotion Podcast. Here for another episode for the culture. How do you ensure that you don't, pass that on to, your family, your friends, and children? As a great mother as you are, like, how do you ensure that those fears and insecurities, aren't passed on to them? Or is it just like a learning, or is it just a thing of?
I think I wasn't doing that. Only now I've realised I wasn't doing that. So my daughter's 3 and my son's just turned 2. And it's only now that my daughter speaks more. She's got her own little personality. She's obviously her own person. And it's only now when I look at her and see her talking and repeat every single thing I say. She's literally in my mouth. Like, you can't whisper and she won't hear. So now I'm more conscious that if I'm like, "Oh, I look horrible," or "I can't do this, I can't do that," she's then starting to mimic that. So she'll be like, "Oh, I can't do this," or "I can't do that." And I'm like, "No, you can do it." Like, and I get annoyed, like, "What's she talking about?" Like, she's free, but it's me that's done that. So that's why now I've kind of like want to change how I am, like, even with how goes back to the event, like having the confidence to do it. Because how can I tell my children that, "Oh, you need to do this and you can do this," but I myself not doing what I'm saying? It doesn't make no sense. So I now have to be more conscious of having more confidence, not having low self-esteem or being so negative. One thing about me, I can be very, very negative about myself, like extremely negative about myself or my situation or anything like that. And I just have to stop being like that, because it's not the way to live. And especially if you have kids, you're going to pass that on to your kids, and then they're going to grow up. And it's just going to be a cycle. Like, I have to break the cycle, and it has to start with me. Because if I don't do it, I'm putting that onto my child, and then she's going to have trauma and everything like that growing up. And it's not fair, like, because I can't put my insecurities onto her or my son. So I think it's just kind of a learning kind of thing that I have to go through. And obviously I make mistakes, and I have so far. Like, you don't get no lipping, like, how to look after kids or how to raise kids. Like, you literally just have to do it. You can take little snippets from how your mum's been, your grandma, and kind of run with it. But it's, at the end of the day, when you're a parent, you have to do what's best for you and how things work for you, especially in this day and age, because everything's changed from when my mum was a mum to now me being a mum. So I don't know, I just think I just have to do better with confidence, especially when you're around kids, and know that I have to try things so I can say to my children, "Oh no, I did try that and it didn't succeed, but I tried again and I did this," or so then she can see and my son can see that, okay, it's possible. Like, what's the harm in trying if you fail? Because my big thing's failure. Like, both of us, like, we can't handle failure. So I have to accept that I'm gonna go through that a lot through life, and it's not a big deal. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, and I think it's like, obviously, even if you have a fear of something, like, say, I don't know, something as simple as, like, say you see they're like climbing on a climbing frame, not you saying like, "Oh, be careful," because that she'll be like, "Oh," like, she'll start being nervous, and she is more like, she'll, I've noticed how she is. Like, I can like overreact on a situation, so now she's like overreacting, and then I get annoyed with her, like, "Oh my God, Zaya, calm down." But no, like, she's just looking at her mum, seeing me overreacting in a situation, and then and she's literally mirroring me, and I don't want her
to be like me. Like I want her to be the best version of her, not me. Like I'm not trying to make a small me.
She is
Literally.
she's just
And
like
it's not the one.
She's a diva.
A diva.
Yeah,
like, and my mum keeps saying you've literally made a mini you. And like it may be fun now, but when she's older, I want her to be better.
You know, it is your game. You're gonna get to deal with yourself.
My mum says it every day.
You never got to do it. Like
my mum literally says it. My mum says, my mum always used to say, if I had kids, I hope you get a mini you so you can see how I had to deal with it. Wow. And then I ended up having my daughter first, and she's literally been me from the start. And my mum says every time she does something, my mum's like, that's you all the time. And I'm like, wow, I'm like, no wonder you waited like 11 years to have another child. It's a lot. It's a lot, yeah.
Words sound power in terms of, you know, the things we speak, you know, it's energy, you know, and those things, you know, consumers.
Yep.
As you said, the confidence thing, and now you're more conscious about the things you say out loud. Because when your daughter's hearing that, she's like, well, she can't really comprehend it, but she can feel it. And she can feel your energy, as you were saying, that whole, you know, climbing frame thing. Yeah, oh, no. And Charles like, oh.
They get very jumpy and jittery and then
jumpy. So you having to kind of deal with yourself, as your mum was saying and Paris was saying, even though I'm not a parent, I feel like that reverse engineers the way you think about yourself, just being conscious about how you would want your child to think about herself. That is a powerful thing.
It's a lot. Being a parent is a biggest responsibility ever. Yeah. So, and you literally get one shot at it. Like, as if you can make mistakes, of course, but you know, every day kind of counts, and how you are and how you act around your kids and the lessons you teach them, it makes a big difference. Like when you look back at little things with your parents, you can remember certain things and certain experiences. And I just have to make sure they're as positive as they can be, and she doesn't look back and think and remember anything that's not exactly great. So.
No, that's it's honourable, and Auntie E is always going to be, you know, there to just, you know. Not oversee, but just be the third eye kind of. And babysit.
Ricky has told me like a lot about motherhood. She's given me a good insight into what
the real, not what you see when people's like, oh my god, it's all fairy and like great.
It's made me delay my process a little bit, but I love the kids. They're so cute.
No, like I love how you speak about the importance of role models, though. As a mother, as an auntie, as a friend. Who are your role models growing up? Like, who did you, you know, look up to, you know, growing up? Or who was your inspiration in a way? Even if it was a person tangible who you could touch, like a mom, a grandma, an auntie, a friend, or if it was like a person out, you know, television, like which people, you know, or what things inspired you, but more so people?
With me, I would say it's only as I got older I can have a role models, because when I was younger, I didn't realise how hard life was. So for me, when I was younger, I wouldn't say my mum was my role model. Not that she wasn't, but it's only now I'm a mum, I'm like, wow, like my mum is
a superwoman.
Yeah, superwoman. Like if it wasn't for my mum, I wouldn't be able to be a good mum. So I feel like now I have role models, but when I was younger, I don't know, I feel like it would be the wrong people, like singers and like celebrities, and that's not really role models for me. Mine's more like people that's important, like even just my friends, looking at how like my friends are, how they grind, how motivated they are, like my mom, and just people that kind of make a difference. And I see that, you know, they're getting through life and doing the things. Even people I see, like even how you're doing a podcast, you're consistent, you're motivated, you've got good energy. Like it's just nice to see that, and people like that inspire you to like do better in life. So I wouldn't say I had role models little, but now I do. But
give thanks for.
I say the same. To be fair, I'm exactly the same. Like even like obviously I'm not a mum now, but like even just things that I didn't appreciate about my mum, or how she sacrificed she made, how she just navigated through life, how she wanted to, like the things that she wanted, she managed to do and things like that. And I just think, wow, like, I don't know. You don't realise as well. You don't realise. I never realised. I'm very much like my mum as well. Like very much, and we are, but you just don't realise it. But yeah, no, she's like my role model now. But like I'm saying, when we was younger, it's just like, oh, I love J-Lo. I love like why? I don't know why I love J-Lo so much.
J-Lo.
But like
we all love J-Lo.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course you do.
But yeah, no, I'm the same really. Yeah, and obviously my dad as well. Yeah, they're very different people. So.
How about yourselves, chaps? Because that's actually like quite an interesting point that we don't feel as if we actually had any role models, and yeah, we didn't raise ourselves, but we, I don't know, maybe leaned on the wrong things, to gain that inspiration from. Whereas now I feel like I'm just trying to be all the things that I needed when I was a young man. Do you know what I mean? But I just don't know how to do it because I wasn't shown how to do it. Who was your?
I mirror what you said. Very much role models growing up. Singers, footballers, people with money. Not actually the people I shouldn't follow as role models. And again, I'm very much like my dad. Like your mum. Just become little clones of who
literally.
Which is positive in some ways, but also negative in others. Trying to better myself and become a better person.
I remember seeing off camera though, like how your dad is very like traditional. I'm sure all our parents are very traditional, work, how you were saying actually that we all are very
like uniform in terms of like work, like degree, house, married, that. It's just like it's mad.
Like, and then how you said, oh well, my dad he was go on, speak on it.
You basically just didn't understand how I went to university, did everything the right way, school, uni, got a degree, when I got a postgraduate degree, finished, then I realised that I had no idea what I wanted to do. I didn't want to do what I'd studied for 4 years. And then to go and work, when I got a job for 2 years, 2.5 years, and then decided to leave it to then become an editor full time. He just didn't understand that. Basically, he didn't understand the work I was going into. He's 71 years old. Like being an editor and working from home wasn't an opportunity when he was growing up in like the 60s. So it's just a world he didn't understand.
He just didn't grasp that I'm gonna kind of do things a bit differently this time, even though you have actually almost given us a kind of path to kind of, follow in a sense as a role model, so to speak. I'm just gonna do my thing.
Do for you, like you're living for you, not for anybody else.
How important do you think it is for you now to be seen as not people who are doers, or because obviously you're, entrepreneurs and co-founders and loving and charitable and giving and honest and pure in yourself, but like, how important is it, do you think, for you to, be seen as people who are, who people could aspire to be like, or is that a bit too much? Oh, I don't do a lot.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't.
I don't do enough.
That. Yeah, we. I don't know. I wouldn't even think like that.
I think, I think that's a lot. But then at the same time, I think it's just, I don't know. Maybe just like for younger generation, even though we're young, but the younger generation, just if you want to do something, just do it. All the ideas that me as a collective, just even you yourself, have wanted to do from being a teenager and not done. All them ideas that they're just sitting there, washed away, not done anything with. If we just did what we wanted to do and stop caring about like outside noise, what other people got to say, what your parents got to say, and just did it, you would have been a lot more happier from the get-go. And you never know how far you could be now if you just did it. Because I doubted myself so much, and if I didn't do that, who knows, I could be in a yacht somewhere.
On a yacht,
I could be like living a life. I could be so truly happy. I could be, but it's like I'm starting now, which I think I'm old now. Like like what do I want to do? But if I just like, even when like my mum would say, "Oh, just do it," you're like, "Oh, what do you know? You're old." Like, but like now, I'm like, "Oh my God!" I know sometimes you have to let people go through their own experiences and go through it themselves and make their own mistakes, but it's just kind of like drilling into the younger generation that do what you want to do. Don't care about what your friends are doing. Don't care about like, oh, well, my friends are doing this, they're having fun. Fun will always be there. Because I had a lot of fun partying and stuff. I don't remember most of it. Like, I was drunk most of the time, and I regret it. Like, I wasted so much time doing the wrong things, and now I'm starting now, which I'm happy, but I just wished I had the drive and the motivation to do it and the confidence back then, because the ideas that I had is just come to waste.
How do you feel about that, Asha? Obviously being, you know, a lady of many, you know, skills and talents and insights. Like, how do you feel about not possibly being a person that people can look to or use to in a place of regret and I wish I did this?
Yeah, I do feel like that in a lot of things. Like, I do feel like I kind of need to be, I think my main thing is like just consistency. I feel like things have to be perfect. When you start out, things have got to be perfect. I start making cakes, they've got to be the best cakes in it. Like Sheffield, I've got to make the best logo, like the best, like, you're just going to make mistakes. You're just going to have to deal with, like, not always getting things right all the time and just actually, like, improving from that, like, learning from your mistakes. And sometimes it's like, I feel like, oh, I just don't want to make the mistake. But how am I ever going to learn if I don't make a mistake? And I think that's the main thing that's held me back from certain things. It's just like, I don't want to feel like you were saying, like failure. I don't want to feel like I failed in this, but it's never really a failure. It's always just going to be a lesson, isn't it? But yeah,
it's a failure not doing it.
Yeah, it's a failure. No, like I don't know if anybody knows this. You can go and find us if you want. We started YouTube years ago.
Before YouTube,
we might upload these archives of many YouTube videos.
We have made so many YouTube videos before these big YouTubers even existed. We was doing YouTube from so long ago. We made videos, we edited, and we had camera, everything, like music, soundtrack, logo, banner. Where's the videos?
Well, it's there, isn't it?
There are some hard drives.
Literally, like, somewhere collecting dust because we didn't have confidence to do it. And we always say, like, imagine now how big YouTube is.
Oh,
we was
massive.
Like, YouTube is such a big platform, and we like made all these videos. We put in our time and effort, like editing them to then what, like
the opportunity.
We missed a big opportunity, and it's not even about making money. We enjoy doing it. Like, we enjoy when we're together, just filming little things that we're doing, like
vlogging.
Even we did a little vlog on holiday where we just it's just having the confidence to put yourself out there sometimes. So.
And they're massive right now. You see all these vlogs and all these podcasts and all these, documentaries. If y'all were doing that years ago,
I should remember vlog life.
Literally,
it'd be the head of the curve.
We made it Instagram. We literally did every platform. And we just like.
No, man, you better just find that hard drive still.
I know.
Literally.
We look a lot different.
Maybe find a hard drive and just put a little bit, like, even if it's not out, like out, even at like the events, and just show people, like, this is what you see now, but this is what we was doing from time. We just didn't have the confidence to do it. It is a way to kind of show people, like, if you start something and pursue it, then you can act, like, you can attain all the things that you want out of it. Do you know what I mean?
That's what we want to do, though. We kind of want to, with Black Owned, like, do like workshops with the younger generation to help them, like, if they want to start a business and they have an idea, it could be so small to them, but you can make that a business. Why not? Like, nothing's stopping you. Like, we want to be able to help them, like, market, if they need to set up social media pages, like, meet people to give them a space to put the business out there. Like, so we want to start from the beginning, so like they can build and have a business, like make money, have their own income, because all teenagers, they're hustlers. Like, you're selling food at like lunchtime at school. I used to sell drinks, crisps, chew it. It's like,
go to 99p store,
literally buy it and sell it for double the price in school. Like, everyone has ways to have their own little something. So if we can help do that, it would be...
Even actually after the event, my little sister said to me, "Oh, me and my friend want to start making face masks and selling it."
We was like, if your goal is by the next event, we'll give you guys a store, but you have to have your products there, and we'll give you a store. And I was like, we're gonna do it.
See, like, sisters in your family.
Yeah.
So in essence, you are role models.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Without knowing it,
Yeah.
people will see that and think, oh my gosh, I want to be involved.
Yeah.
So now
It's so true.
you've almost challenged them to be like, all right, then cool. If this is what Unu want to do, we will give you the space and the opportunity to do it, but put the work in.
Yeah, just give them a push.
Another thing that we just think, we always think, especially like creative people, business people, we always think, especially mainly in the like black community as well, we feel like people think, okay, if I want to be successful, I have to leave Sheffield, and we just want to kind of like.
We always use we want to move London,
we want to move to London, Manchester, but it's like, why can't we just create the space in Sheffield rather than like running from it every single time? Like, oh, like if you want to do anything, you've got to leave Sheffield, you've got to go to London, like you want to be. But it's like we want to create.
Sheffield's big enough to, and it has enough of the black community to make it something like.
Enough resources.
And also like network with each other and support each other's businesses, and then it's not, I feel like everyone's kind of out for themselves sometimes, and that's where like it can kind of go wrong. If you're supporting each other, everyone will get there eventually, but you just have to do it as a collective instead of trying to do things for yourself and not giving a helping hand to someone else. If you have an opportunity like to help someone, why not do it? Like it's going to help you and the other person, and you know, you'll get that good karma back to you in life at some point. So I just feel like instead of, you know, oh, I'm gonna get further if I don't help them. Say they have an opportunity for free spaces, they'll just do it and not want to get no one else involved, but do it together. And then Sheffield will be somewhere where people want to come to get their business big instead of running to London and trying to get successful. It's just, it's not it.